So yes, Munira, I can see you. Make is to oblige someone to do something. A strict teacher makes his students do their homework, to stay busy all the time in class. Whereas to let is to allow someone to do something. Okay? For example, a strict teacher doesn't let his students to talk without raising their hands. This is to let. Yesterday I give you this exercise to match sentences. Let's correct them right now. What do we have? The teacher doesn't let us use our own language in class. Okay. She makes us speak English all the time. Let's hear this.
The teacher doesn't let us use our own language in class. She makes us speak English all the time.
Okay, very nice. Now, my boss let me have the day off. So, what do you think? My boss let me have the day off. Means let me stay home or not come to work. She didn't make me come into work, yes.
My boss let me have the day off. She didn't make me come into work.
Hello, Fatima Bakari. Now, let's move to number 3. My parents didn't let me wear jeans to go to the concert. What do you think? Where should number 3 go with? They didn't let me wear jeans to go to the concert. They made me wear suits. Yes, costume.
My parents didn't let me wear jeans to go to the concert. They made me wear a suit.
Very good, Fatima. Excellent. Yes. So we have Fatima Bakari and Fatima Zahra. Very nice. I never let my cat sleep on the bed. We have one pronoun, I.
I never let my cat sleep on the bed. I always make it sleep in a basket in the kitchen.
Good. They let us go straight into the cinema. Very good, Fatima.
They let us go straight into the cinema. They didn't make us wait in the queue.
And the one before the last, the manager didn't let me pay by credit. She made me pay in cash.
The manager didn't let me pay by credit card. She made me pay in cash.
And the last one, my parents didn't let her boyfriend stay the night. They made him go home.
Her parents didn't let her boyfriend stay the night. They made him go home.
Exactly, Fatima Bukhari. Exactly. Yes. Very good. Read and complete the sentence with make and let's here. Use make, let's. Make, let's. For example, we have to get up at 5:30 in the army. You know the army, l'armée. We have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. They make or let him get up at 5:30 in the morning. They make. Okay? Because we have to. It's obligation. Now, what about the rest? Choose, make, or let. I give you 2 minutes. Okay, time is up. Alright, so number 1 is make. Number 2, we're not allowed to have long hair. They don't let. 3, they make him run 6 kilometers. Alright. Good Fatima, good Behia. Fatima Zahra also. 4, yes, exactly, let's. They let him go home 1 weekend a month. Number 5, don't make him wear this uniform on his days off. And last one, don't let. Very good. Excellent. Alright, let's continue. Listen, mark 3 misdeeds and match them to the punishments. Okay, so we have misdeeds or mistakes and punishment for each one. Okay, so I invite you to listen and try to match misdeeds with punishments. First misdeed is she didn't eat her lunch on time. Okay, listen, what you need to do first, choose 3 misdeeds from these ones. She didn't eat her lunch on time. She stayed in the school building because it was too cold to go out. She was reciting her prayer too loudly. She was doing her prayer very loudly. She held her prayer book too low in morning prayers. He was rude to the teacher. he hit his teacher extremely hard in the back. So you listen and tell me which one of the misdeeds are mentioned in the listening. Let's go.
The worst punishment I can remember was when I was at primary school, and I'd stayed in the school building at lunchtime because I felt it was too cold to go out. And for that, they made me go down to the class below and do all their lessons for a whole week. And I wasn't even allowed to see my own friends during the break times. I remember I was about 7 and I got punished because I held my prayer book too low in morning prayers. They made me stand up in front of the class and recite a prayer in front of everybody, and I was terribly embarrassed.
When I was about 8 years old and I was at school, I remember we were having a Latin lesson and the teacher asked me something and I was extremely rude back to him. And to punish me, he made me write out, "I must not be cheeky," something like 500 times in Latin one Saturday afternoon.
What do you think? Can you choose the misdeeds? Do you need second listening? We are 3 people speaking. So number 2, Fatima says number 2. She stayed in the school building. Very good. 4. She held. Held is to hold. Maintenir. Okay. Her prayer book too low in morning prayers. And 5. He was rude to the teacher. Now, what were the punishments for each misdeed? Listen again and match each misdeed with the punishment mentioned in the listening track. Let's play it.
The worst punishment I can remember was when I was at primary school, and I'd stayed in the school building at lunchtime because I felt it was too cold to go out. And for that, they made me go down to the class below and do all their lessons for a whole week. And I wasn't even allowed to see my own friends during the break times. I remember I was about 7 and I got punished because I held my prayer book too low in morning prayers. They made me stand up in front of the class and recite a prayer in front of everybody, and I was terribly embarrassed.
When I was about 8 years old and I was at school, I remember, and the teacher asked me something and I was extremely rude back to him. And to punish me, he made me write out, "I must not be cheeky," something like 500 times in Latin one Saturday afternoon.
Alright, very nice. Usama, you are not a bit late. You are very late. Just kidding. Now, we've been listening to an audio track about 3 people talking about a misdeed they did when they were kids. Now, we have already found out the misdeeds. We have a girl who stayed in the school building because it was too cold to go out, according to her, but in fact it wasn't cold. Another girl held her prayer book too low in morning prayers, and third guy was rude to the teacher. So for first did, the girl had to go to the class below for a week. Second one is number 4. She had to recite a prayer in front of the class. It was embarrassing for her. And 5 goes with 6. He had to stay in on Saturday afternoon and write 500 sentences in Latin. What did he have to write? He had to write, I must not be cheeky. I must not be cheeky. Okay, let's listen again and check it out.
The worst punishment I can remember was when I was at primary school, and I'd stayed in the school building at lunchtime because I felt it was too cold to go out. And for that, they made me go down to the class below and do all their lessons for a whole week. And I wasn't even allowed to see my own friends during the break times. I remember I was about 7 and I got punished because I held my prayer book too low in morning prayers. They made me stand up in front of the class and recite a prayer in front of everybody, and I was terribly embarrassed.
When I was about 8 years old and I was at school, I remember we were having a Latin lesson and the teacher asked me something and I was extremely rude back to him. And to punish me, he made me write out, I must not be cheeky, something like 500 times in Latin one Saturday afternoon.
That must have been a terrible punishment. We move on. Pass obligation. So in this exercise or activity, put the second part of the compound sentences in the right order. You know, compound sentence is a sentence consisting of 2 simple sentences. For example, last night we went to the cinema and it finished so late that we missed the last bus. So we had to walk home. This is a compound sentence.
Last night we went to the cinema, and it finished so late that we missed the last bus, so we had to walk home.
Very good, Usama. Very quick answer. Alright, do the same thing for the 6 other sentences. Try to make the last one clear to you. I give you 3 minutes, then we correct. To change the quality of the video. Don't let it automatic. Choose something higher, like 400, 700 or more. Alright, time is up. What did you... How did you answer? Let me see. Behiya, number 2 says, we don't have to cook. We didn't have to. It's the past, okay? We didn't have to cook is the past of we don't have to cook. We had to walk home is the past of we have to walk home. Okay? Behiya also says number 3, he didn't have to buy one. He didn't have to buy one is the past of he doesn't have to buy one. Alright? Number 4, Usama. 4, what did you do in number 4, Usama? He didn't have to buy, no, that's 3. So Fatima Bukhari didn't have to buy one. Oh, sorry, that was 4. We didn't do 4, that's 3. Right, that's 3. What about 4? Made us wait till the interval. She made us, which means this is the past of she make us wait till jusqu'à the interval. Alright, what about 5? Finally, they let her go home. This is Usama's answer. Finally, they let her... Yes, let is the past of let. Doesn't change. The past of make is made. You know these things, right? Let's move to 6, and this time with Fatem Zahra Kadimi. Fatem Zahra. We let them stay with us. Very good. Here you change Usama for number 5. Not finally they, and they finally. Okay. And that's it. Fatima, Behiya, good. Fatima Bukhari, 7. We had to leave a note. We had to leave a note. We had to leave is the past of we have to leave a note. Alright, very good. Good, the same lesson. Right. Excellent, guys. Let's carry on. I need to watch and listen. We are still dealing with obligation. And here, the topic is about feel free. Feel free, do whatever you want. So, in this video, we should... Okay, let's do this. Watch the video and we come back to this lesson. This table, this window, alright? Okay, let's watch.
You can go anywhere you like. Where? You can go wherever you like. You can return anytime you like. When? You can return whenever you like. You can visit anyone you like. Who? You can visit whoever you like. You can eat anything you like. What? You can eat whatever you like. How long? You can keep it for as long as you like. How often? Come and see me as often as you like. How many? Ask as many questions as you like. You can eat anything you like. What? You can eat whatever you like.
This is what is known in French like n'importe où, n'importe quand, n'importe qui, n'importe quoi. We add WH word plus ever. You can go wherever you go, wherever you like. You can return whenever, which means anytime. You can visit whoever you like. Anybody you want, anybody you like. You can eat whatever you like. Okay? So these are WH words plus ever. Alright? It gives you wherever. Okay? And this is an adverb. Like, for example, I will find you wherever you go. Okay? She's free to go wherever she wants. I'm free to go whenever I want, to go out whenever I want. Now, leave home whenever you want. But a few days ago, or 1 week ago, we weren't allowed to go wherever we want, whenever we want. Isn't it true? Sure it is. Now, if we continue here we are dealing with new expressions like as long as. You can keep it for as long as you like. Here we express that the duration of time doesn't matter, as long as you like, as long as you can. This is duration of time. How often? This is the number of times. Come and see me as often as you like. Always, usually, every day, every 2 weeks, every month. And how many? As many as you can.
How many?
Okay, as many as.
Ask as many questions as you...
Ask as many questions as you like. Use as many potatoes as you like in this recipe, for example. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at this grammar. Freedom from obligation. You know, like a few days ago or 1 week ago, we didn't have the freedom to go out whenever we wanted, not even wherever we wanted. So freedom from obligation obliges us to use expressions like whatever, whenever, however, and whatever, whoever, etc. So 2 ways of expressing freedom from obligation. We call it freedom from obligation. Structures with ever and structures with any. You can do it wherever or anywhere. They are the same. Anywhere you like. You can do it whenever or anytime you like. You can do it however or any way you like. You can see whatever or anything you like. You can see whoever or anyone you like. With adjectives and adverbs, we use as. You can sing as loud as you like, as often as you like, number of times, as loud as you like, the volume you like, as much as you like, as many songs as you like. Much refers to quantity, many songs refers to number of songs. Now let's do some practice. I hope this is clear cut for you. Fill in the missing letters here. Okay, then we correct. I don't know if I can leave this for you here. Okay, let me see if I can do this so that you can see. Maybe the opposite way. It's better, I guess. Let me see if I can do it. It's hard to do it. Anyway. I hope it's better like this, and you can see all the sentences. Okay. Okay, let me give you some time to think about it.
You can do it wherever you like. Okay, time is up. So what did you get, guys? Miriam Iqsir says wherever you like. You can put it wherever. Very good. Wherever. Don't repeat the E. One E, just one E. I know E where it ends in E and ever ends in E begins with E, but keep just one E. Good, Miriam. Miriam Iqsir. Good. Asma Yara. So what did Asma Yara say? Wherever you go. Good. Fatima Bakari or Behia, number 2. You can watch whatever you like. Very good. Fatima Zahra Qadimi, number 3. Whenever. You can get up whenever you like. And finally, number 4. Behia and Asma, whoever. You can phone whoever you like. Good, excellent. Good job. Very nice. This is how to be free from obligation. There is no restriction. There are no restrictions in place or time or means, however, or anything, whatever, etc. Good. Okay. This will be the yes, exactly. Now I need you to fill in the blanks. Obligation, do whatever you like. This activity is about do whatever you like. So we have 2 activities here. Okay? So fill in the blanks with make it here. Good. So fill in the blanks with these expressions. She's allowed to eat crisps, sweets, ice cream. She's allowed to eat whatever she likes. Why? Because crisps, sweets, ice cream are objects. They are objects. We need whatever. But here, you can sleep for 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours. This is you can sleep as long as you like, not whenever you like. No, we don't specify the time here, but we specify the duration of time. Okay? Alright. Usama says in number 1, whatever. His parents let him watch cartoons, westerns, soap operas. They let him watch whatever he likes. Good.
They let him watch whatever he likes. They let him watch whatever he likes.
After whatever, we can have lunch at midday, noon, at 1, at 2. This is whenever. You can have lunch whenever you like.
We can have lunch whenever you like.
Good. Asma, whatever, whenever. Good. Fatima, whenever. For number 2, right. Miriam Ksir, whenever. Exactly. What about she can borrow 1 book, 2 books, 3 books. She can borrow as many books. Very good. As many books as she likes. Because books are countable. They take S, we use many.
She can borrow as many books as she likes.
Yeah, suppose we have drink coffee. Freedom from obligation. She can drink as much coffee as she likes. Why much, not many? Because coffee is uncountable. Whereas books, here it's plural and it is countable. We use many. We carry on. What about these 3? What do you think? Okay, let's see you say whatever or wherever. Wherever, yes. Here, as fast as you like. Good. And last one, whoever. Very good, guys. Yes, you're doing a great job. Now, what about this one? They can have 100, 200, 300 pounds. They can have, they like. What do you think? Yes, Fatima. Very Asma. Very nice. Good, Munira. So as I said, you were good doing this, right? Whenever, as far as whatever. Here, as you are saying, as much as they like. They can have as much, because money is uncountable. You don't say money is 1 money, 2 monies, no. But $1, $2, 1 pound, 2 pounds, 1 euro, 2 euros, okay. Great, good job. Now, let's skip this and go straight to school rules. School rules. Okay, what do you need to do here? Listen to Alice, Billy, and Kathy speaking about the rules in their schools. Then choose the right answers. Who had to attend morning prayers? Alice, Billy, or Kathy? Who wasn't allowed to talk during the lessons? Who couldn't share a desk with another pupil? Pupil is a student, a young student. Middle school, primary. Who wasn't allowed to leave the school at lunchtime? Who had compulsory sports activities? Compulsory means obligatory sport activities, which means not n'est pas dispensé. Okay? Who says that most pupils thought the skirts were too long? The skirt, la jupe. Who says that the rules about the uniform were too strict? The uniform, l'établier, if you like. And who says that school uniform is quite a good idea? So, as you can notice, all questions include who, which means you choose Alice, Billy, or Kathy. Are you ready for this? Let's play the audio track.
The all-girls school was very strict. The rules every morning, we had to go to prayers for it was about half an hour, and we couldn't get out of it. We had to go, otherwise we'd get into trouble if we missed. We had to go to sports twice a week, but it was I did find it very strict. I had to wear a uniform in the school. That was very strict as well. We had to wear a navy skirt, which had to be a certain length. Quite a lot of people tried to have them a bit shorter, but that wasn't allowed.
There were certain rules, that don't apply at the sixth form college, like we weren't allowed to go out at all during the day, during lunchtime or break or anything. We had to stay in college. We weren't allowed into the classrooms or anything, so even during winter it was very cold out. And I thought some of the rules were stupid like that.
What about uniform? Did you have to wear a uniform?
Yeah, we did. I mean, I don't mind wearing uniforms, I find it a lot easier than having to get up every morning and decide what to wear. So I didn't mind that. It wasn't a very nice uniform, mind you.
It was a private school, girls' school, and I think probably the strictest thing about it was the uniform, which was just completely ridiculous. It was grey, white and pink. The skirt had to become, exactly 2 inches below your knees. The socks and even the buttons were like regulation school buttons. In lesson time, it was, absolutely no talking. Everyone sat at separate desks in very straight rows. And it was, needlework was compulsory. We had handwriting lessons. I mean, exactly the kind of education that, thankfully, we're kind of moving away from now, i.e. just learning facts and then regurgitate exam.
My question is follow. I know they've got British accents. That's good for you. You need to be exposed to native speakers. So, do you have any ideas before we do the second listening? I don't know. Who's Alice? They go, respectfully. Alice was the first speaker. Billy was the college student, and Kathy was the private school student. Alice was the first one, Billy the second one, Katie the third person consecutively. So what do you think? Okay, I suggest listening to Alice first, then tell me which rules does she talk about. Let's listen to Alice first.
The all-girls school was very strict. The rules every morning, we had to go to prayers for it was about half an hour, and we couldn't get out of it. We had to go, otherwise we'd get into trouble if we missed. We had to go to sports twice a week, but it was I did find it very strict. I had to wear a uniform in the school. That was very strict as well. We had to wear a navy skirt, which had to be a certain length. Quite a lot of people tried to have them a bit shorter, but that wasn't allowed.
All right. Who had to attend morning prayers? Did Alice have to attend morning prayers? Was she not allowed to talk during the lessons? So number one is Alice. Very good, Bahia. Very nice. Alice had to attend morning prayers. Do you remember for how long? For 30 minutes. Okay. What else? Hmm? Now, let's listen to Billy and give me the rules she had at school. Let's go.
There were certain rules, that don't apply at the sixth form college, like...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Too strict, very strict, yes. Here says Alice 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, just 7. Just 7. Very good. Alice 1, 6. Thought the skirts were too long. Alright. 1 and 6 are correct. What about Billy? I guess Alice talked about uniforms being very strict. They had to wear lengthy skirts. She talks about skirts, sorry. She talked about skirts. Yes, very good, yes, exactly. So for Munira, Billy is number 8. Yes, she said it's a good idea. She was with wearing uniforms. Anything else? Was she allowed to leave school at lunchtime? Did she talk about this? Yes, she did. She did. Now let's listen to Katie and to accomplish the task.
It was a private school, a girls' school, and I think probably the strictest thing about it was the uniform, which was just completely ridiculous. It was grey, white and pink. The skirt had to become, exactly 2 inches below your knees. The socks and even the buttons were like regulation school buttons. In lesson time, it was, absolutely no talking. Everyone sat at separate desks in very straight rows. And it was needlework was compulsory. We had handwriting lessons. I mean, exactly the kind of education that, thankfully, we're kind of moving away from now, i.e. just learning facts and then regurgitating them in an exam.
So what do you think about Katie? Any idea? Katie talked about the uniform. They had to wear uniform in grey, white and pink. In addition, Miriam Al-Qasir, she was not allowed to talk during class and she couldn't share a desk with another pupil. Very good. Who talked about sport activities? Billy or Katie? What do you think?
The all-girls school was very strict. The rules every morning, we had to go to prayers for it was about half an hour, and we couldn't get out of it. We had to go, otherwise we'd get into trouble. If we missed, we had to go to sports twice a week. But it was, I did find it very strict. I had to wear a uniform in the school. That was very strict as well. We had to wear a navy skirt, which had to be a certain length. Quite a lot of people tried to have them a bit shorter, but that wasn't allowed.
There were certain rules, that don't apply at the sixth form college, like we weren't allowed to go out at all during the day, during lunchtime or break or anything. We had to stay in college. We weren't allowed into the classrooms or anything, so even during winter it was very cold out. And I thought some of the rules were stupid like that.
What about uniform? Did you have to wear a uniform?
Yeah, we did. I mean, I don't mind wearing uniforms, I find it a lot easier than having to get up every morning and decide what to wear. So I didn't mind that. It wasn't a very nice uniform, mind you.
It was a private school, a girls' school, and I think probably the strictest thing about it was the uniform, which was just completely ridiculous. It was grey, white and pink. The skirt had to become, exactly 2 inches below your knees. The socks and even the buttons were like regulation school buttons. In lesson time, it was, absolutely no talking. Everyone sat at separate desks in very straight rows. And it was, needlework was compulsory. We had handwriting lessons. I mean, exactly the kind of education that, thankfully, we're kind of moving away from now, i.e. just learning facts and then regurgitating them in an exam.
Fair enough. All right. So Katie was a student at a private school for girls. Billy was a college student, which means after high school. Okay, that's college. All right. Now, we're still dealing with obligation, and here precisely contracted forms. So look at the contracted forms underlined, okay, which means short forms if you like, in this sentence, and write the full forms of these words. She'll see you tomorrow. She will see you tomorrow. What about the rest? I give you 1 minute, then we correct. Did you get any answers? Let me see. Yeah, problem with the live chat. Alright guys, I had problem with the connection. Okay, let's see your answers. Let's begin with Behia, first person who sent the answers. He'd look. It's not he had. He would. He would. Yes, as Marine said. You're making. Yes, Behia, you're right. You are making. Nice. Continue. Number 4. I have not, Behia says. Yes, I have not. Number 6. It is not, Behia says. It is. Yes, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yes, and 5. It's they had met before. Is not. And last one. We have already seen that. Okay, good. Very nice. Now, let's do some pronunciation. More specifically, we are going to work on the words that can be contracted, okay, when they are spoken. For example, he will come if he is not busy.
He'll come if he isn't busy.
So, the speaker doesn't say he will, doesn't say he is not. He says he'll come if he isn't busy.
He'll come if he isn't busy.
Okay, what about the rest? Find words that can be contracted. I give you 2 minutes. Let's go. Okay, let's see. What do we have? They says there, and have not, haven't seen. Good. Munira, haven't. Good. Bahia, I don't have. Very good. Good, Bahia. Bahia says hasn't. I have. You'd. Your. I can't. We say can't, just can't. It's too quiet. Let's hear it.
He'll come if he isn't busy. They're sure they haven't seen him. I don't have any change, I'm afraid. I've been to Athens, but he hasn't. You'd better look where you're going. I can't hear the music. It's too quiet.
Very good, guys. Now, I'm going to paste this screen, send it to you on WhatsApp, and you read these sentences in a contracted way. Can you do it? Here it is. It's in your WhatsApp group. It is being uploaded. Alright. What you need to do is you act out the sentences in a contracted way. I think it takes some time. Yes, there it is in the group. Okay, so let's call it a day. It's too much for you. Okay, try to revise your lessons. If you missed any part of this video, you can watch it on YouTube. Alright, thank you very much and see you next week, inshallah. Bye bye.